Yeah, high beta stuff is up more than normal, but we know that quantum's like 3x beta. We didn't finish looking at Shopify. I was going to look now. Okay. And again, we can look at Shop Equity EM for earnings, and we can see that consensus is for $1.51 for 2025 and $1.90 for 2026, and we're at $1.81 for this year without taxes. But with taxes, we're at $1.63, still ahead of the street at $1.51, and then at $1.94, and the street's at $1.90. So the street's expecting a pretty big deceleration, it looks like. We can also look at revenue. Revenue, street's expecting a lot more revenue, but a lot more costs too. So, if they can get 20% revenue growth, I mean, they either expect 10% cost growth too. But that still, I think, would be a pretty big number from a earnings perspective. Maybe, again, you could adjust some taxes and things like that. I think that would be pretty bullish, to be honest, because, again, they had not grown expenses that much in the scheme of all that revenue growth. But so let's look at Amazon real quick, because I do want to get a sense for the scale of e-commerce. Okay, so online stores, physical stores, third party. Here's third party. So this will give you a sense for how big. This is third party revenue. This isn't third party GMV. And third party GMV is probably the same-ish take rate as Amazon, as Shopify. So let's do it like a take rate estimate, so to speak. And this is just really simple. This is revenue divided by GMV. Let's say it's 3%. Let me get one more decimal. And they've, I guess they've kept that in the 3% range. So if Amazon's third-party revenue, okay, is, we can just fill this out, I can just copy paste. Well, 2023 it would be 140,053. And if that is divided by the take rate, then Amazon's GMV was like 4 trillion. But I don't know if that's right. Let's ask ChatGPT actually. Market knows, and this is all being priced in. Market knows what? We got an EMT fan. Okay. Amazon has a much higher take rate. So GMV was 480. That doesn't seem to make too much sense, because I'll have to look it up, but maybe that was for 23. I think the rally will fade, but I don't know if that'll happen today or tomorrow. Okay, so GMV is 700 in 2023 and 791. But that's the total GMV. 480 in 2023. Third-party revenue is 140. So their take rate would have been massively higher, 29%. Shopify's take rate's 3%. I'll have to dig into that a little bit. Yeah, Matt's got it. I mean, you just saw my positions, so you don't have to ask questions about them because you just saw it. Yeah, I think it'll fade. I think all this will fade. But, I'm just throwing a coin in the air, basically. No, I'm not sure. It's easy to tell. Nobody thought this would happen, after all. So, okay, so let's see if we can look at Amazon a little more closely. I was upset at something happening internally at my company. We had a service outage that lasted a few minutes. I was a little frustrated by that. And I had another... one of our functions had some missing functionality, and I was ticked off. So I had to go take a lap before I blew a gasket. Yeah, some of the crypto could be a short. Farcoin's at 75 cents. It's a gift. Yeah, Farcoin should be some free money right there if you're on Binance or something and you can short it. Okay, let me look at Amazon real quick. Because I think to understand Shopify, you probably have to understand Amazon. It's a sort of one in the same ecosystem. Okay. Interesting, they provide shipping costs, $28.5 billion. Third-party seller services. I don't know if they talk about GMV ever. Maybe in the SEC filing. I think they're sort of careful not to talk about it, but let's see. Yeah, I don't think they discuss it. Well, the revenue, one way to put it is, look, their actual revenue is GMV. Right? And then their third-party sellers, I don't know how they treat that accounting-wise. If they treat it like Shopify, it's a GMV system. I don't know if the market will collapse. See if I can get some more information on this third-party seller services. We offer programs to enable sellers to sell their products in our stores and fulfill using our services. We are not the seller of record. Commissions and fulfillment fees we earn are recognized when services are rendered. I wonder if they buy Anthropic. Okay. So Shopify's GMV is actually bigger than Amazon's online retail. Where do these numbers come from? ECDB. Monthly e-commerce data. Huh. Maybe I need this. Ooh. I need this for alternative data. Okay, so it's a rough estimate. This is revenue. We know that. I don't know if I've retired from League, but I don't want to play too much. All right, rally fading a tiny bit here, up 7.5%. Okay, so there's no GMV given out by Amazon. Shopify says they have 12% of e-commerce. Shopify said, okay, Shopify themselves estimated 6 trillion. Another group said 4 trillion. Another group said 16 trillion. What's real, I don't know. But we do know at least one thing that's real, which is Amazon's actual online store revenue. And we know what's real here with Shopify. So at the very least, those two together are 500 billion. Now we have an eBay model, so that won't hurt. Throw that in there. Oh, I thought I had GMV for eBay too. And wouldn't all of Alibaba count? I think it would. Okay, GMV was 74 billion for eBay. Okay, it got up to 770 billion. Although we know that Amazon is undercounting it pretty dramatically. I wonder if PayPal might report like a seller GMV. Let's see. Okay, here's branded checkout. That's 30% of all payments. So branded checkout, percent of total TPV. Okay, cool. So 28% and 29%. So I know what the TPV is. Huh. So around 1.2 trillion is just in Amazon, eBay, PayPal, and Shopify. So looks like they're taking share from PayPal, maybe. Let's see here. I'm just going to assume 22 was also. $1,357. Okay. Who else am I looking at for e-commerce? Anybody? Alibaba, perhaps? Yeah, Stripe. Stripe is certainly a competitor to both of these guys, but also a partner. Yeah, Walmart and Costco. S&P up 7%. Somebody said. Okay. Let me see, where's my laptop? Can you guys hear me? You still see me? Is maybe not that great. Huh. Yeah, right. God damn it. Hey guys. Yeah, I changed my mind achieving greatness. I changed my mind, I'm short now. What are you, retarded? There's not much to look at for GameStop. They don't have a business. We're waiting on them to get a business. I'm up 0.5%. Gave back a lot. Are you 4 a.m.? Genuinely wondering. Well, you knew I was long, and you must have known I was long in the last few days. So now you're wondering if I changed my mind within the last few days. Yeah, the price has gone down, so I don't like it anymore. I like it less now that it's cheaper. It's got to be a much worse deal now. Weeks ago. I think it was 7 days ago. Yes, I reassessed from 7 days ago. What other channel? What are you talking about, Big Potato? You say other channel. I only know my channel. What other channel? There are 50 million other channels. My bitterness is you come here, you already were banned. And you ask about the same stock every day. Yeah, everything's good. Why? Is that the Ion Q baggie? Okay, I'm mistaking you for somebody else achieving that constantly asks about the same stock. I don't know any other channel, Big Potato. So in your mind, you say other channel, but I can't read your mind. Do you understand how confusing that is? To me, that's not the other channel, because I don't know what you're talking about. No, we know Alejandro's long. Now, I know, I kind of know what he's referring to, Milan, but I can't read his, like... The other channel. Oh, you're the other guy. I'm a huge fan of Other Guy. What other guy? You know the other guy. I love that movie. You know what I'm talking about. I do a quarter pounder. I took care of that thing. Oh, this is great for IonQ. I was able to double my position at 26, which is like a gift. I never thought I would get again. Fartcoin is another one. I think the market, the rally fizzles. It's already fizzling. No, you get to short it again. I mean, it's gone from 75 cents to 20 cents, and now it's 75 cents again. I mean, I think Rocket Lab is bullshit, but Bag 7 is a highly coveted. Difficult to gain thing. I think I'm gonna pull all my hair out at the end by the end of the year. I also need a haircut. I have like parts of my hair that are much longer than they should be, and other parts that are much shorter than they should be. That's what you get when you cut your own hair. Okay, let me see if I could do some more e-commerce research. I don't know if I look great bald or not, but we'll see. Yeah, I just have anxiety that makes me yank my hair all the time. Well, I started cutting my hair in prison. I need an assistant who can find me a nice barber. I don't really have an assistant right now. I have never smoked anything ever. I just don't like the idea of breathing in things into my lungs. Why would you liquidate your IRA? For what? Looks like the market's rallying back here, up 8.25. You don't need to cut your own hair in prison, but nobody really knows how to cut hair in prison, so I'll just do it myself. All right, Peter. We're gonna time you out, buddy. Time out. Don't make me call me out to be a liar. I asked. Okay, Walmart does seem to break out e-commerce. So let's take a look at that. I don't think they actually break it out. It's probably not good for them. Okay, hold on. There we go. Walmart's U.S. total net sales, $79 billion. Okay, it's not that much. Well, I can add Sam's Club as well, and Walmart International. It's a little bit higher. 121 billion. But, you know, Walmart's never going to be a Shopify customer, right? It's kind of the, I guess, thing I'm getting at here. But the more companies I find on this list, the more I can basically say that if the number on the low end is 4 trillion, Shopify has a lot of room to keep growing their revenue and earnings. Even if a couple of those very big players are never going to switch. Okay, so we got Walmart. Chewy is all online. I wonder if Chewy uses them. E-commerce, what an interesting space. Everyone wants to know about Alibaba, so I should be following that too. Haven't updated Alibaba in a while. And then we should look at JD as well. Okay, I'm almost flat for the portfolio since inception, market of 9%. Unbelievable. Unprecedented. I haven't looked at Dollar General. I don't think they do too much e-commerce, right? I think I'm going to stick to Alibaba. Oh, I'm short a lot of stuff. You might have heard of the quantum computing companies. Yeah, I changed my mind. I'm bullish on quantum. No, I'm still short quantum. I went from being up 1% to being up 30 basis points. So no, I was not forced to liquidate. Some of you guys are very funny to me. I did short more IonQ today, and D-Wave and QUBT. The only one I didn't short more of is Rigetti. All right. So yeah. I'm pretty big in Rigetti, and I just don't want to risk much of a drawdown. But, you know, I would add to Rigetti. This is the portfolio I'm focusing on now. Don't worry about the rest of my portfolios. That's not for your consumption. This is the portfolio people voted on. Don't know if I really understand this. Customer management. China. Customer management, direct sales, and other. You guys voted. You said no YOLO. So okay, so this is China retail. International retail. Local services. Kenya. Logistics. Cloud. Digital media. Others and elimination. Okay. I kind of play it by ear, TM. I increase the position and then, I kind of ride it usually. If it gets a little out of hand, I can try to get out of it or whatever, but typically I just kind of, okay, I put the wrong number in here, 28, or wait, I put in the wrong number kind of a lot of places. Let me double check. No, got it all right. Why did NVIDIA give you a big drawdown? You shorted NVIDIA maybe? Or I don't know what to do with CoreWeave. It's probably a short. But it's hard to tell. They are a big NVIDIA customer, so you can't really... Can you separate those? No, listen, I'm comfortable with my portfolio. I don't need to make too many adjustments. I'm long stocks I like. I'm short stocks I don't like. Market's up 9.24%. Kind of wild. You don't see that every day. I just started this Do we know their GMV? I don't think Facebook gives that out. Yeah, it's the challenge. That's it. Gross merchandise value or gross market value? Usually merchandise. Okay, I was looking at Alibaba. me continue to do that. I kind of do want to see all the politicians who are like, Trump's destroying this country. Look at the market. It's down. You were saying? I'm sorry, what were you saying? What a swell guy he was. I'm not in the mood for Wall Street bets. Maybe tomorrow. The only time I've seen something like this is GFC. There was one time like this where the Fed did an emergency rate cut. But yeah, that's pretty unprecedented. Yeah, Truth Social. Listen, guys, I want you to buy. I want you to buy big. I want you to go in big, go all in. Okay? Something good's about to happen. Just gotta sign up to Truth. I'm not saying what's gonna happen, but you might want to be on Truth Social when it happens. It's not exactly insider info, let's be clear. There are some specific definitions of that plus, it's the president. He can do what the fuck he wants. I can do whatever the fuck I want. The president of the goddamn United States. And that's that. Tip my hat to that. Insider info on the whole world, right? Telling the whole world at the same time. Insider info. Fuck, what flower is that behind me? Why don't you ask my girlfriend? What the fuck do I care? What flower is that? Oh, it's parsnip. Man, I don't give a fuck what flower it is. I asked Elon. He said yes. Do it. He's very smart. Probably the smartest. And especially when it comes to computer. The smartest there ever was on the computer. I do think we have a fig tree, but again, Not my focus. Okay. Market softening a tiny bit, if you can say that, up 8.8%. My portfolio is up 30 bips. But you're the real rocket man. Kim Jong-un, his rockets don't even work. Have you heard that song, Rocket Man? It's a big song in America. And you're him. You're the Rocket Man. See, I'm having a little bit of a tough time figuring out what is e-commerce here and what isn't. But I'm going to do Taobao, Tmall, and digital commerce. I don't know. I kind of am tempted to say Alibaba doesn't count, but does Shopify have a Chinese? Chinese unit? Yeah, Alibaba revenue growth is China. Good luck with your startup, Todd. I just don't have the time. I barely have the time for my own endeavors. So I need to focus on that. The Rocket Man. Rocket Man. Okay. These are all in Chinese currency too, which is pain. So I would take these 5 and call this calendar 24, 1 trillion renminbi. They call it renminbi. 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 That's the official name. They also call it the yuan. Market back up 9. We're up 20 basis points here. Hanging on for dear life. The yuan is a renminbi. It's 1-to-1. It's just a different name for the same thing. Classic bear market rally. I don't know if this is a classic anyway. It's not time for classics. This is just wild fuckery. Classic 9% rally. Last time I saw one of these. Just last week. Yeah, I don't think Bloomberg TV is having me on. If this is a bear market rally, I don't want to see a bull market rally. What the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck? Okay, there may be GMV here. Whenever I read these Chinese press releases and presentations, I always read it in a Chinese accent in my head to make it more realistic. I'm like, during the quarter, our customer management revenue grew 9% year over year to renminbi 100 trillion, 100 billion, driven by the growth in online GMV and improvement of take rate year over year. There's no other way to do it. You have to read it in the natural language. I mean, it's even better if you could read it in Chinese. Because, the way they translate it is a little fucked. Account Intelligence Group. Segment adjusted EBITDA. Of course I don't know Mandarin. My girlfriend. Revenue breakdown. CC. Oh, revenue growth 8%. Alibaba. Yeah, I don't know how they did a Chinese company with an L in it. This is pretty dope. I don't know what all these guys are, but I kind of recognize this one. That's their Alibaba thing. Oh. On that capture position, negative 40 billion? Oh no, positive 52 billion net cash. God damn. I actually calculate they have more than that. That's another story. Oh, they're repurchasing. Yeah, it's not a thing of disrespect either. It's just that's where my mind goes, man. Where is the GMV? Let's see if they list it somewhere else. They talk about it. They don't give it out as a number. We are the largest retail commerce business in the world in terms of GMV, according to analysis. Who is analysis? I'm not sure it's Amazon. Okay, so these guys are like a typical data monitor or someone like that. Alibaba's revenue, 130 billion. I don't know how much of that is their own or somebody else's products. But either way, because it's Chinese, I'm not sure there's much of a play for Shopify. What you don't want to do is start forecasting so much growth that it's unrealistic for them to get that target customer. Like, so for example, here, to get this kind of revenue growth, the GMV has to get to a level of 500 billion, which again, depending on your perspective, could be unrealistic. Is that unrealistic? And they probably have some asymptote where, where else do they go? Now they're getting into logistics and other things, so it's not like they're kind of capped in opportunity. But I just wanted to get my head around how much more can they grow 25% per annum. If it's 10 years, it's a huge long. Oh man, here the S&P's now up almost 10% on the day. Wow. We see most 500 million shares of NVIDIA traded. It's up 19%. 188 million shares of Tesla, up 22%. Then we have Ford, up 9%, in the 180 million range. Intel and Palantir up 20% each on 170 million shares. Lucid up 10% on 150 million shares because it's a $2 stock. Apple up 16%, 149 million shares. Bank of America up 7%, kind of a weak bounce there, 137 million shares. American Airlines up 22% on 100 million shares. Amazon up 12% on 90 million shares. SoFi up 21% on 86 million shares. Pfizer up a tepid 3%, that's it, on 81 million shares. AMD up an astounding 25%, as well as Robinhood, on 80 million shares. And Alibaba, speak of the devil, up 69 on 69 million shares, up 6%. AT&T flat, up 50 basis points on 64 million shares. Interesting. Gainers, we got Capri Holdings, remember them? Up 33%. Cura Sushi, okay, up 32%. Bally's up 30%. Applied Opto up 30%. VF Corp up 29%. Redwire, Sabre, Alpha and Omega Semiconductor and Restoration Hardware are all up 28-ish%, as well as United Airlines. SciTime, Form Factor, Establishment Labs, Onto Innovation, Reddit, Guess, Microchip, all up 26 to 27%. Carvana up 25% as well, and AMD up 25%. A lot of gainers today. In fact, if I switch this to a minimum market cap of $5 billion, more recognizable companies, we have Affirm, Rambus, On Semiconductor, Lattice Semiconductor, Snap, Tesla up 23%, Skyworks, IonQ, Strategy, ARM, who's who of big companies. All right, so losers, not too many losers today. We've got losers as little as 2%, down 2%. Nothing really standing out here. Rocket companies, RKT down a little bit. Liberty Global, QVC Group, we're affiliated with Liberty Global, USA Rare Earth, Newsmax, Neogen, companies that have idiosyncratic things going on. Maybe some of the companies that would have benefited from a trade war are reversing. All right, by value, we have a lot of unprecedented data today, so a little bit of slowness. But by value, 60 billion of NVIDIA's changed hands, 50 billion of Tesla. Apple, Meta, Amazon, Palantir, Microsoft, Strategy, Broadcom, Alphabet, AMD, Alibaba, Taiwan Semi, United Health, Alphabet again, Netflix, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Berkshire, Lilly, Micron, Intel, Walmart, Costco, and Robinhood all have traded billions of dollars of volume. Costco up a meager 6%, Eli Lilly up a meager 4%. These are the defensive stocks. Same thing with Berkshire and Bank of America, pretty weak bounces. Alibaba as well. Alibaba is kind of the target in some ways of some of these measures, but a rising tide lifts all boats. It's probably up 9.6%. Wild day. Up about 20 basis points over here in the Shkreli portfolio. I don't think Alibaba ever gives out a GMV, but we'll rest on that. So I think we could see pretty good growth for Shopify in the future. I just don't want to overstate it. Let's see. Management is kind of the best you can get, and they're targeting a really big market. But I see what some of you guys are saying, that they're sort of going to collide with the Stripes of the world, the PayPals of the world. All these companies are kind of coming to a head. If they do $1 trillion in GMV, is that too much? They are saying the global e-commerce is $4 trillion. How do they get $1 trillion of that? That's a lot. They would basically be dominating. Everyone who has an online store would be going through them. I think that could start to be a little too unrealistic, but let's say they get to roughly that category. And again, remember, they're providing all kinds of other services too. They're providing logistics and warehousing and some other lower margin stuff. So, and e-commerce is certainly going to keep growing. I mean, it's buying things online is kind of the way to go. So we'll sort of see, will they be the enabler of the e-commerce generation? And, the drop shipping bros, so to speak. Let's think about it. But let's assume this is what happens with Shopify. Again, we have a lot of nice things to work on here because we have payments, which are really inextricably linked with, e-commerce. Payments and e-commerce kind of go very much hand in hand. All right, so let's have like this sharp deceleration. Okay. to terminal growth. You've got to be kidding me. Do you guys see this right now? Spent, what, a couple hours thinking about Shopify. Considering everything. You see this number? You guys see this number? Market's closed. What a day. Look at the market cap. Are markets efficient or what? Oh man. Bums me out. Yeah, this day definitely broke some records. Well, it is at 92 right now. Well, I had to add back the cash. That's 85. I just remembered it was 99 billion, but I'm not even done. Watch. Watch this. Watch this. Wowler Baker. So yeah, basically the market's implying that Shopify 3x's their GMV over the next, 8 years. It does roughly the same on revenue. Management cranks out a 3% return on cash. Maturity grows at 2%. Cost of capital is 9%. So, I mean, I like it if they could beat that, and I think you're starting to brush up against some natural barriers there. Basically, the whole internet powered by Shopify, which they're not there yet, but the market's kind of discounting a little bit of that. Can they return even higher? Well, it's a pretty smart management team, so probably. Let's say they can return. You're in safe hands, so let's say the discount rate's only 8%, and they can return 10%. Okay. You're still not getting some insane price, right? It's only 50% higher than the current price. Now, you could say that, well, you have them falling off a cliff on the growth side. That's true. That is true. I can bump that a little bit, and then you got a double on your hands. But these are pretty generous assumptions. E-Trade's down. We had big league computer problems today. Everything's computer. I got really pissed. I'm still really pissed. I'm finally calming down now. Whenever these kinds of things happen, I take it really personal. I want to just like take a spoon, take out one of my eyes. Get some Redis cache overflow or something. Yeah, that does happen, Ed, and that's my point. Is that like, if we assume management is genius and they're going to make 10% a year from here on out, or at least the next 10 years, it's hard to get those kinds of returns on lots of cash. TradingView shit the bed? Okay, I feel less bad if TradingView shit the bed. Ah, great. Okay, cool. I feel a lot less bad. We're a new company. Our infrastructure we're doing a major overhaul. So we were literally going to finish our overhaul on Friday. That's why I'm kind of pissed. But TradingView and eTrader had hiccups today. I don't feel so bad.